Okay, welcome. This video is pretty important. This video is going to show you how to sample parts of an image, how to highlight parts of an image and copy them from one place to another. If you think about word processing, I mean, think how important it is to select a paragraph, to copy it and paste a paragraph or part of a sentence and just move it, or copy a paragraph from a website and paste it into the body of an email. I mean, it's extremely important. Anyone would agree in word processing. But when we deal with images, similar thoughts apply. Now, I'm gonna bring in these 5 images. This is called my hamburger activity. And what I did was one night when I was eating dinner, my wife had made beautiful hamburgers, and they were so nice. I said, I'm just going to take a picture of all these different parts. And what I realized is this would be a great opportunity to be able to copy and paste all these different parts of a hamburger into one hamburger. So again, as silly as this activity may be, it's very important to learn how to select parts from an image and then paste that selection into another image. So let's start off looking at some of the images. I got the top bun, the bottom bun. I have the beef patty. I have lettuce and tomato. So on my bottom bun, I think I'm going to put the beef patty first. So there's my beef patty. Okay, beef patty. I'm going to make this a little bigger. And what I'm going to do is use the Lasso Tool. And I'm actually going to right click the Lasso tool and choose Magnetic Lasso. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at the edge of the hamburger. Now what you'll learn as you use the Lasso tool, the Magnetic Lasso tool is great. It's smart enough to find an area of your image where there's a big change in color or contrast. So for this hamburger, just following the edge, and the computer's pretty well smart enough to find the edge of that burger. Once in a while, though, I don't know if you can hear me, I'm kind of clicking my mouse to just reaffirm. Okay, like click, click, click. Sometimes at the corner you'll click. Now, by the way, if you make a mistake like this, you can hit the backspace key on your keyboard, and you'll just back up to maybe a point where you're happy that. So I've come around full circle. Now when I get to the end, I'm going to kind of double click. Oops, I'm going to Control Z. There we go. So there we go. We've selected this hamburger patty. Now that it's selected, almost like you would do in Microsoft Word, I'm gonna say edit copy. Now I'm going to go to my photo bin here and hit the bottom. Just sorry about that. I want to go to the bottom layer of my hamburger, and I'm going to say edit, paste. So there's a couple things you should be aware of. Number one, I've pasted that hamburger patty I just copied from another image. If you look over here, you have your layers palette, and I mean, you got to kind of come to terms with this. The bottom bun in the image of the cutting board and everything, that's the base of our photo, and this is the main photo that I'm building off of. So now, look at this. I've added over here, you see the hamburger layer. I could come over here and say, I could name this layer the burger patty. Okay, so I'm just going to click here. And this little eyeball is kind of neat. You can turn that layer on and off that it's visible or invisible. So if you want to just hide a layer temporarily, you can, instead of trying to delete it or something, you could just make it invisible temporarily. So you can name your layers. You can actually reorder your layers, as you'll see in a minute. Another thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to grab this move tool, and I'm going to maybe make the hamburger patty just a bit smaller. I could actually rotate it a bit if I feel All right, so there you go. We got a nice hamburger patty here. We could actually put a little shadow. Do you see here under the hamburger patty? It seems like this bun's awfully bright here. So we can put a shadow. We can on this layer. So what we can do is come to our artwork and effects palette. Maybe say show all. Show all effects. It's a little bit hard. I always have a hard time finding it, but maybe 3/5 of the way down when you show all effects, there's this option here. It's a layer shadow effect. So I'm going to click here and hit apply. Now we have an effect. Now again, in my artwork and effects palette, I clicked all effects. I found this low shadow effect. I hit apply. Now when you hit apply, you get this little FX thing over here. So you can adjust the shadow effect. Just you don't want to make it look too tacky, right? You just want a little subtle effect. It almost looks a little bit moldy or something maybe, but okay. I'm gonna leave it at that there. So and you can actually adjust the direction that the light's coming from just to make it look a little more realistic here. So play with those 3 sliders. We'll hit OK. So there we go. Our bottom bun layer now has the hamburger patty, and I'm going to close the hamburger patty. Don't need it anymore. And let's do, well, we don't want to do top bun yet. Let's do lettuce. So again, if you're going to cut something out, feel free to zoom in a little more. So I use the zoom tool right now. And again, we're going to use the magnetic lasso tool. And we're going to just go ahead and so you might hear my mouse clicking. I'm clicking as I move along the magnetic lasso tool just to kind of reinforce where I want the line to be. You kind of help the computer again figure out what exactly you want to copy. So here's my lettuce. I'm clicking. This takes a little practice. You might find that as you're doing this, it's not going to work out as smoothly. Remember, if you make a mistake, I'm going to make a mistake. Oh, so I'm just going to hit backspace, the backspace button on your keyboard. So here we are. We've come full circle. There we go. I'm going to hit edit copy and go back to the bottom layer here, say edit paste, and there you go. Now that lettuce is a little small for me. I'm going to do the move tool and just move this. Maybe I'll rotate it a bit. You want to kind of keep the shadow, the angle of the shadows and the angle of the light pretty consistent. All right, there we go. So there's some lettuce. Now I think the next thing we're going to get is the tomato. So again, I'm going to do the magnetic lasso tool. Maybe start at an interesting point like this little corner here. So it's going along pretty good. I'm going to click just to kind of confirm. Edit copy. Edit paste. Oh, that's interesting. Now look, I pasted this this image in here with good intention of it being on top, but look where this layer went. So if I want, I can actually come to the layers palette and move that layer up so it's on top as I had intended. I can grab the move tool, maybe rotate it a bit, maybe make it a little smaller. Okay, maybe I want to. By the way, when you move items, oftentimes you're prompted with a check mark. Just go ahead and say yes. Maybe hamburger patty. Maybe I want to make it a little bigger. Okay, so that's really neat. I didn't change my layer names. I'm going to call this lettuce and this one tomato. And finally, top bun. So again, this should be pretty easy. I'm just going to follow along the edge, click every now and then. Edit, copy, and finally edit, paste. Paste as a layer. So I'm gonna move that. Kind of doesn't look. There we go. I think the tomato needs that drop shadow effect as well. That tomato looks almost unrealistic. So I still have that drop shadow. I'm gonna apply, and I'll click the FX near the tomato layer and just maybe adjust the effect a little bit. All right, sorry about that. I just had a little interruption, but I believe I was just renaming some of the layers. I'm going to hit top bun for that one. So that's kind of cool. I might make this bun a little smaller. And I could put a shadow. I could hit that shadow again, hit apply. Just a subtle shadow. Maybe a little less. You know, sometimes less is more with these effects. So there's my hamburger, and you know what, just maybe for fun, I'm going to throw in some text. And I'm going to say Dwayne's virtual burger. Now you can say, why is the text disappearing? Look over here at that layer. When I added text, that layer was here at the bottom. I wonder if I can. Okay, so Dwayne's virtual burger. I might use the move tool here. Are there any special text effects I can do? I'm going to go bold, and oh, this is what I was looking for. Maybe an arched, so you can set the amount of arch. Dwayne's virtual burger, and again, I'm going to do a shadow. That shadow effect's kind of neat. Maybe make that bigger. So there you go. So check it out. We've used the magnetic selection brush. We've copy and pasted areas. We've worked with layers. We've renamed the layers. We've reordered some of the layers. We've added text. We've applied special text effects like this. Look, I'll hit text here. It's this button right here. It's very subtle, but it's next to the color choosing option, and you can choose different text effects there. That's kind of neat. So just to finalize this, I'm going to say File, Save for the web, and I'll say OK, and I'll save it to my desktop. Dwayne's burger Dwayne. Now I've exported this image as a JPEG, which would be friendly with the web, but this file here with the layers, you might also want to do File, Save. And you could save it to your desktop as burger project Dwayne. And notice that this file is called a PSD, a Photoshop document. So PSD files, what's nice about them is they're big files, but they preserve all the layers. Okay, so if I want, I could go back and move layers. Once you export though to the web, you're gonna flatten all those layers. So we are at the end of our 15 minutes, and thank you for checking out this tutorial. Have a good one.